Welcome. It's your host, Brooke Ivy. Welcome to episode one, the beginning, episode one. Let's go. All right, so this episode is the strength within. On this episode, it's just me. It's just me. You just get me today. You get to find out a little bit about who I am, why I started the podcast, and my vision for the podcast. What do I see this becoming? What do I want this to be? So let's get into it. But before we do, what we will do, we're going to set the tone for this conversation here, for you guys to get to know me. We're going to set the tone. So we're going to start by, we're just going to toast, do a little toast. Can you oblige me? Okay. We're going to do a little toast to some good conversation, a good season, and to creating a community of beautiful, beautiful mothers, women who can just find similar interests, shared stories, and hey, just have fun, you know? So first of all, a little bit about me, right? Okay, so a little bit about me, your host, Ivy. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. I'm a boy mom. Woo woo to the boy mom. Shout out. I am a Southern Belle living in Los Angeles. I probably moved here over 10 years ago now. And originally, I'm from Nashville. I love brunches. I love making brunch. I love going to brunches. Who doesn't love a good mimosa and a waffle? Okay. I love to travel when I can. I love getting in the kitchen and trying new recipes, especially dairy-free recipes at this point because my son is allergic. So yeah, that's been one of our challenges. I believe in Christ and I am a huge believer in self-care. In order to give to those, you have to take care of yourself. So in order to get to those who need you, you need to take care of yourself. Hear it again for the people in the back. Take care of you, okay? But I'm very laid back, down to earth. I love to have fun. I never meet a stranger. I can spark up a conversation with just about anyone. The wall, people will talk back. But I just love making memories with my family, with my friends, most of all, my baby boy, and a lot of gatherings, revolve around food, okay? And one of my great loves. So let's get into it, guys. So, a little more into my journey of becoming a solo or single mom. So, that happened about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And just for me, it was a needed ending. It was a necessary ending to something that was very unhealthy for myself, for each of us. And most importantly, the one person that means the most, and that is our son. It was very unhealthy and toxic. And I don't know, it's something that I can't explain as a mom. And I'm sure other moms you can relate. After you have a child, there is something inside of you that just gives you just this new strength, this new power to say, enough is enough. If whether it be, interactions with other family members, your significant other, your child's father, whatever, something inside of you that just says, enough is enough. Whatever the situation is, enough is enough. I deserve better. Our child deserves better. We deserve better. No one should, I feel, sit around and be unhappy, right? Life is too short and you have to make the best of every moment. So it was just a situation that was no longer feeding me mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And, I decided on my own to step away. It was a it was scary, to be quite honest. I hadn't lived in LA alone. Ever since I've been here, I was in the household with this other person. So, it was just really stepping out on faith and knowing that, hey, if I take the first step, God got me, right? He got me. He is not going to let me fail because I felt there were things that were happening that kept, just that poke, like poke, you moving your feet, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. But I just kept having one thing after the next happen that was like, okay, Brooke, I'm telling you, all right. Okay, now listen, let me poke you a little harder until eventually I was like, okay, God, I hear you. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And I made it and I don't regret it. I have experienced more peace than I've had in a very long time. And I'm very grateful for it. Throughout this journey, it has been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. It was a big adjustment for my son emotionally. Had to deal with some big, huge emotions from him, some questions, some reoccurring questions from him, because at the time he was only 4. He's now 6.5. So, well, he was 3, about to turn 4. So, a lot of questions. There were a lot of quick, swift transitions for him that were made that were not necessarily communicated in the best way between the two of us as parents. I think I was blindsided about a lot of things that were happening, a lot of transitions that were happening for him, that as his mother, I felt I needed to be privy to emotionally help him and have the right answers or appropriate answers for the questions he was having. So, in all of this, I also watched another friend go through some difficulties, some really trying and difficulties in court, in which ultimately I ended up in court. And what I can say about that was the biggest, wow, that was the biggest gut punch for me, because I always felt, as two people who once shared a space, a history, there should be nothing that the two of you can't work out without getting the courts involved. And for me, that was a place I never wanted to go. As a matter of fact, we had conversations about that. If this ever happens, da 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 da. And it was, for me, it was never an option to go there. Being a kid who grew up in the court system, I never wanted that to be my son's reality. I hoped and prayed, that we could just have a different narrative for him. But unfortunately, we are actively in that space, and that's really all I can say about that. But moving on, I created this podcast as a positive outlet to really cope and deal with a lot of the emotional, mental, psychological, psychosocial, and um, spiritual warfare that I was going through, just turmoil that I was going through. Um, And so I want this space to be an interactive space, a positive space, a uplifting space for women to understand that they're not alone, that you have a voice, and that you have someone or a community of women that want to hear you, that want to help you, that want to be that listening ear, and who can provide you with resources and information and knowledge to help you through whatever situation that you're going through as a single mom, as a working mom. And let's be real, there's some single dads out there as well. And if we can be a community for a man who is now a widower, or whatever the situation around that may be. We wanna be that community for you. So here I just ask everybody who tunes in, who connects with us, let's come from a space of positivity. Now, we're going to have some moments that if you just need to rant, girl, let's rant. Let's have this minute and rant. But my true hope is that at the end of the day, we can move past hurt, move past the anger, the frustration, and we can share, okay, how are you coping? What are the strategies that you are using? What is some information that I need to know that can help me through court, that can help me through co-parenting, that can help me through dealing with my child's emotions. I just want this to be a community, a wealth of knowledge for those of us who need it, who may be alone, who may not have other women around them that can understand or relate. If I could be that for at least one woman going through it, maybe at her wit's end, I hope to be that. Like, I want you here. I welcome you here. So let's just stay positive. Let's stay focused on the things that we do have, the blessings that we have, which starts with our little people, right? They are a blessing. They are a gift to this world. And I want us as women to heal, to really, really heal and be the person, the woman that we are destined to be. And I want us to break through no matter what the situation, no matter the difficulties that you're going through. I want you to understand this, sis. You got this. You have you have a community. You have people that are going to support you and be there for you. I want you to tap into that light, tap into your inner child. Just think about your wildest dreams and go after them. Go after them. Be all that you can for your little person. You only get one shot. You get one shot at being a mommy to these kids while they're young, and you need to be a whole healed person. One thing I always say, it is no way that you can go through life, deal with, the stressors on your job, the difficulties that you may be having with co-parenting, the different things you're going to have to help your little person, deal with emotionally and pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your own cup before you give to anyone else, be it your boss, your family, your child, whoever it is. You have to be a whole, healthy person first. And I am a firm believer at that. Sometimes it's mom, listen, this is not going to be what most people think. You gotta be selfish. You gotta be a little selfish sometimes to take care of it, to be that to everyone else, to be whole for everyone else. We are going to get into we're going to get into some real conversations, y'all. I have some guests that are going to be very dynamic, very knowledgeable, right? Oh man, I can't wait. Some stories are going to give you some chills. Some stories are going to make you laugh. We're going to have some fun moments, some silly moments, some ranting moments. And we're going to invite a little bit of your ranting. And then we're going to say, okay, sis, that's it. Let's get into this positivity. Breathe it in, let it go. Take a drink, let it go, let it flow. Okay. So at the end of the day, though, I want us to be able to end each episode with positivity, with a takeaway, with, yes, maybe I am going through this. Maybe I am going through fire. I am having to climb this wall and I can't see the end. But I want us to find a way to bring it back to, how do I get through? How do I persevere? What are some of the strategies that I use to cope? Whether it be talking to a therapist, calling your girl up, taking an exercise class, woosah, meditating. I want people to come on here and be able to share whatever tools, strategies, whatever their go-tos are, to just give us, this tool belt, if you will, this tool belt of strategies that we can use to persevere, to be better women, to be better mothers. We owe it to ourselves to be our best selves for our children. They're looking up to us, and we only get one shot, right? We only get one shot. And no, we're not going to be perfect because we are imperfect beings. But we're striving every day to do our best, every day to step out of the stereotype. I want to step away from the stereotype that single mothers have to be struggling. We have to always be sad, or we don't take care of ourselves. Or no, we're stepping out of that narrative, that stereotype. We're dismissing it. No. You can still have everything together, be put together in shape, get your hair, your nails, your makeup, however you get that done, whether you doing it yourself, going to somebody, you can have your stuff together and be somebody's mama too. Because guess what? You were a whole woman, a whole woman before the child, before that man, whoever. You were a whole woman, honey. Okay? So don't forget that. I want us to be able to tap into that and remember that we are women first. Okay. And, we have to pour from a full cup, not an empty cup, in order to be anything to anyone else. Our children, our families, on our jobs, we have to be a whole healthy being. And this is about creating a community so you can be just that, a whole healthy being, healed from whether it be generational trauma from your past relationship, trauma from your childhood with your parents. Look, we're trying to breathe in the positivity and let go of anything that is holding us back from being the person that we know we can be, the person that we're destined to be, the woman that God has called us to be. Okay? All right? So that's episode 1, y'all. You got to know a little bit about me, why I wanted to do this podcast, and just a little history of, how I became a single mom. You'll get to know more details as we go further into the season. But yeah, these next couple of episodes, I'm going to be bringing some beautiful people that I love, giving us, some knowledge, gems of their story. And hopefully a lot of you will be able to relate. So do me a favor though, before we leave, I want you to share this with someone. If you know a single mom, a working mom, or even a single dad, hey, I need you to tell them to come on over and follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay, you see it's floating around at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling across. So yeah, we need you to get your people to tap in. Okay, get them to come on in. But what they have to come with you a little drinky drink. Come with an open mind, listening ears, and an open heart. Okay? Come. We want to share the knowledge. We want to hear your story. We want some opinions. Let us know if it's something you want us to talk about. I'll introduce you to my reoccurring co-host next episode. So if it's anything that you want us to come on here and talk about, give us the information. Connect, interact. We look forward to connecting with you, interacting with you. So get people to tap in, okay? Get them to tap in. Come on over here. Get this episode information. Straight shots, no chasers, okay? We're going to get into it, y'all. All right? I'm your host, Brooke Ivy, and that's it for today, okay? We'll see you next time. Tap in, y'all. Wait, damn, wait. Yeah, I like to dance too. So we're gonna be dancing on here, okay? Wait till that. Hey, shout out to my boy Trey Styles for my intro.